Water makes up to 3/4 of the Earth's surface. That is to say, up to 75% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. These can be rivers, lakes, oceans, seas, ice. All that is water, and that takes up to 75% of land, of Earth's surface. So that means the human race of 7 point something billion finds its place on the 25%, and that's where it stays with most of the plants and other animals. Today we're going to look at how does water keep moving, because this water finds its way through the ground to the lakes and rivers and then to the atmosphere. So the water cycle involves the underground, and then plants and other organisms and the atmosphere. So how does it move through? It's a cycle. So it keeps finding its way through these four always, at all times. So let's start with water in the atmosphere. So within the atmosphere, it exists mainly as water vapor, or clouds. Okay, so within the clouds, well, comes a time and the clouds release that water in form of drops, and that is what we call precipitation. Precipitation happening. So during precipitation, some of that water goes to the lakes, rivers. So here we have lakes, we have our water bodies, water bodies, which could be the lakes, the rivers, swamps, oceans, seas. We also have plants. Okay. So some of that water finds its way down to the underground. So let's say this is the surface, and here is underground. Some of the water finds its way through the underground, and that is what we refer to as percolation. This water percolates through to the underground, and then here in the underground it rechannels until it finds maybe rivers that could join that water to the lake or to any other. However, when it's hot, these water bodies carry out what we call evaporation, and plants carry out what we call evaporation. They lose water. Water escapes from those water bodies, and plants too. Now the process by which the plants lose that water is what we refer to as transpiration. So here we have a term known as transpiration. So the plants lose water in form of water vapor to the atmosphere. Through the process of condensation, this water vapor again becomes raindrops that find their way back to the water bodies, to the Earth's surface, and to plants. And that way, so water vapor by condensation forms raindrops, and the process of the raindrops coming to the Earth's surface is what we call precipitation. After that, it is received maybe by water bodies, or it goes to the underground by what we call percolation. And then from the underground, it rejoins a water body, maybe a lake or a sea or a river, where it is reconnected to another water body, and then evaporation and transpiration. Evaporation from the water bodies and transpiration by the plants causes the water back to escape from these plant surfaces and water surfaces, or water vapor, back to the atmosphere. And that goes on and has been going on for as long as the earth. In summary, major reservoirs of water are the water bodies, which are the lakes, seas, and oceans, and they lose water by evaporation. And by evaporation, we get water vapor into the atmosphere that forms the clouds. Now, by condensation, the water vapor becomes raindrops that come back to the Earth's surface by precipitation. Some water goes down to the ground by percolation, a process known as percolation, where it rejoins other water bodies, and then it will find its way back. Therefore, that is the water cycle.